If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. I put my money in a strong position. They try to tell me I can't win, it's just a stupid superstition. Cause when I focus, you will notice that I'm winning. We demolish every bookie, there ain't no competition. Now listen, I would never give you shitty picks and do you wrong. Come and join the Discord, tell these bets and hit the bone. Cooking up a parlay super unders and a song. We be really winning, this ain't just to make another song. So if you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash.
we coming in and we taking all the money.
Just cash.
They can't do nothing to stop us.
Just cash.
Hey, fuck these bookies, man.
Just cash.
They wanna limit me cause I win. Label me the enemy cause all I do is win. Just give us a try, this is where it all begins. I'm not gonna lie, all I know how to do is just win. If you love making money and wanna win,
Just
they wanna
cash.
limit me cause I win.
Just cash.
If you love making money and wanna win,
Just cash. Just cash.
Just cash.
love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. Love making money and wanna win.
Just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends.
Just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash.
Hey, hold up.
Just cash.
Hey, what's up, E?
Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome back. We are back today. It is Wednesday, coming at you with some college basketball again. Joined by Underrated. What's good, man?
Oh, nothing. Just hitting some gunshots. Feeling good. Always feels good to hit the
Yeah.
gunshots. I don't know why it is. Call me crazy, but fuck you, bookies. That's what I'm saying. We kicked their ass last night, bro. Fucked them up. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had a really solid outing yesterday, and thankfully, all the tacos came through for once. So, bookies held up their ends, and plays came through. A bit unfortunate with Rob and McNeely. Started off really fantastic for us, and then second half, both the guys decided not to shoot the ball at all. So, it is what it is. But our top four, man, beautiful top four.
Never in doubt. Actually, Trey. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Big
I was about to
Trey.
say.
Damn, he's good, bro. They don't give him the ball enough. I guess teams are just doubling him when he gets the ball, so it makes it a little harder. But damn, he's good. I like him.
Yeah, they started putting a lot of pressure on him, especially in the second half of the game. But he walked into the half with 10 points, so we were feeling pretty solid about that. And even though we did get bailed out with overtime, I mean, the game was it was a phenomenal game. First off, like from a spectator standpoint, really good game. And yeah, man, overtime clutching up for us, bagged that 3, and it was just good to see it come through.
Yeah.
But the other ones, man, I mean, these were by and large sweat free. I think maybe we were kind of, CMB, we need a little bit more out of him in the first half, but he always does it at the house, man. I swear, this guy's unstoppable. Dropped a cool, I think 39 fantasy, something like that. But he got there for us, and it was a stream card, so hopefully you guys were able to lock that in with us. We appreciate you guys, and if you won yesterday, if you got anything from it, make sure to hit that like button down below. And if you guys are new here, don't forget to be subscribed to the channel. And anybody not a part of the Discord already, we got you covered. Links down below in the description. We're still running the 7-day free trial for that, so make sure you guys hop in, check it out, and lock in with the fam. All right, Underrated, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. And just want to say what's up. Big Chachi's here. He came in first today, so let's give him a little credit that he deserves, you know?
Yo, what's good, man?
Coming in first. That's a big deal, man. We got Ayo here. Just cash. It said just cash. Big Ayo. Says we just chilling and vibing with our friends. Just cash. Underrated beats. Eat modest money. He knows what's up. We got Big Q Donkey here with the money signs. You know he's winning money. You know he was winning money yesterday. Big Q Donkey. You know he always comes through. And we got E2. What's up, guys? What's up, E2?
Yeah, what's good, fam? Yeah, and we also had some really nice chop-up questions yesterday, too. I saw a couple that hit, couple that missed, but ones that I think we had a general consensus about were pretty good. And, oh, man, shout out to the chat again. Jalen Lake, man, stayed under again, that PRA line.
Oh, Jalen Lake. The gift that continues to give. I love you. I love you so.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? He was at 17.5 the slate before. 16.5, if he's going to stay under, he's going to stay under. And he did the same thing. He had 12 in the first half and then came out, fell short in the second half, and the team ran away with it, so he didn't really have to do anything. It's pretty nice to see. But, yeah, man, I mean, a lot of the stuff that we talked about yesterday came through. If you had either of Thornton from Ohio or Mobley, both of those guys absolutely crushed it. And I had a sneaking suspicion, man. I knew one of the sites was going to lower him down to 14.5 points, and they did like 30 minutes or 45 minutes right before lock. So if you were patient and really waited, or if you were like me and you just played the 2.5 threes, I mean, he covered them both. So shout out to threes forever against Nebraska. Man, that has been such a real thing this season.
It's crazy. It just keeps happening. I keep thinking it's going to stop, and it doesn't. But anyways, guys, we got a good amount of plays to go through today, and if you have any plays that you're liking, throw them in the chat. If you want us to just take a look at them or just throw a comment out, something you love, and maybe it'll be a play we all can ride on. But anyways, let's get to it, man.
Pause.
Yeah, let's talk about JT Toppin here real fast. Oh, man, I see Q Donkey brought up Igor. Yeah, man, talk about a weird game, and especially for how much BYU was just scoring at will, especially in the first half. Bro had 0 in the first half, and I think he picked up his first one like 6 minutes in the second half as well. So really unfortunate with the double OT that still couldn't get 2 more. I mean, bro, he's had it 3 for forever.
Right. Oh, Igor. But, man, BYU is something, man. They are no pushover. BYU is a real deal team. They deserve respect. I'm going to be interesting in the tournament.
Yeah, man. And Big Saunders, he's been having himself a hell of a stretch down the season.
He has. Okay, we'll get to the Reed Bailey question after you go through a few of yours. And anybody else got any questions? Throw them in the chat. Let's go.
Yeah. So we got a similar player, JT Toppin, and 17.5 points. Back at the house, going up against Colorado and was it Mashburn or Ham? I always forget this guy's name. But opposing center, not very good. Likes to get in some foul trouble. Dak, Dak on the other side. I mean, he's a reasonable player. Don't get me wrong, but I think with them, especially being on the road, been really, really susceptible on defense. They have not really played up to their competition a lot. So hoping, just in general, throwing my thoughts out here, Colorado can actually hang in here. But Toppin been performing really, really well at the house so far this year. Only limitations that he's had really in any capacity has just been the minutes or foul trouble. It's the only thing with him. And over the last month, I mean, coaches pretty much, I think, turned him about as loose as he's going to be for at least this season. You know, still really struggling to stay over this 30-minute marker. But this last game, I mean, he did get into foul trouble. He ended up fouling out. So he did only cap out at 22 minutes, but still had an amazing game. We're talking 3 games in a row here with over 15 field goal attempts and 6 of the last 7 games, all with 15 plus. So that's a pretty crazy number. And I mean, honestly, the field goal volume is closer to 17, but home games, I mean, he's averaging almost 19 field goal attempts whenever he's getting this kind of production. So it's crunch time. I mean, there's only 1-2 games left in the season for everybody, so they need to make sure they're shoring up playoff spots. Yeah, they have 2 games left. They play today, and then on Friday, on the 8th, Saturday. So, crunch time. These guys are going to be playing the minutes as long as they're, not in foul trouble or anything weird going on. And this is another game that's really, really important. So, coach is going to have to be leaving them out there. I think we see another at least 28-minute game, barring any kind of foul trouble. And if it's close down the stretch, anytime this dude plays 30-plus minutes, this is an absolute free square. So, I like it. I think they're going to struggle. And if their opposing center gets in early foul trouble, it's going to be a wrap.
Yep, love it. 17.5. That's not too much for him. You see the 41, the 32. He can get busy. Like you said, just needs the minutes. The other thing that's interesting, if you look at those 14 games where he didn't get there, one of the games against Houston, we know about Houston, so we don't really expect him to get there against Houston. The other game's TCU. TCU's no pushover either, so we're in a good spot with 17.5, I think.
Yeah, and this was that little injury, whatever sickness that he had around this time period too. So the minutes obviously were dwarfed from what they at least should be, like in a normal spot. But I think, this guy's been totally back to 100% health, and he was great for us this last slate. I don't believe we actually posted him official, but we definitely talked about him on stream, came through for us. But yeah, man, coach is happy with them. I'm happy with what we're seeing. And if he goes out and shoots the ball another 15 to 20 something times, you got to be expecting close to a 20-point game here.
Hell yeah. And the best news, C-Dot's here.
Yo, what's good, man? What's good?
All right, well, Toppin. It's funny, he went from I'm never playing him again to the top play of the day. Let's get it, Big JT.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's crunch time. It's time to win. Guys got to play. No holding back here.
I think the line is also a tiny bit too low just because he had those games in the middle of the year where he didn't play. So it's kind of a good thing for us. You know what I'm saying? If he was playing 30 minutes a game all season long, he'd probably be up at 19.5. So we like it.
Yeah, he should honestly be, I would say at least 18.5, especially if how they kind of work their algorithms, but at least 18.5 wouldn't be surprised, especially next year if he's playing. Dude, if he plays 30 minutes, this guy's going to be a walking 20 bomb every game.
Big JT. See, the fun thing is, man, I haven't watched college like that, like we do this year in a long time, and so it's going to be fun to see how these players play in the pros. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and here, honestly, with March Madness coming up, I think coaches are really going to have to push the limits to maybe player minutes and rotation, where even if, say like normally they would play 35 minutes on a night, maybe the guy plays 37 minutes. Maybe, a bench player plays 2 or 3 less minutes spread out across, or it's something that I think is going to be really telling, especially in the first games that are competitive, but something that we could possibly be able to lean into real nicely.
Shootball got a good question too, I see. Well, we'll get to that when you're ready.
Yeah. Let's talk about one more play, and then we'll get caught up on questions here real quick. But we got another familiar favorite, Big Ziegler, and we locked him at 13.5 points last night, but it looks like most sites have him at 14.5. But I will say shout out to Prizepicks. They're actually kind of throwing us a bone on some of their props today. They got him at 14 flat, at least for the current time being. I do expect this to probably move up to 14.5 at some point, but this is probably going to be our next best option unless you guys have, I believe, FanDuel. He was at 13.5 on. But another player just continues to impress us and had an ultimate legacy cover last game. Just, phenomenal cover. 2 points going into halftime. He had early foul trouble. And, thank God coach brought him back out in the final few minutes because he sat very early in the first half. Into the half with 2 points and then came out and bagged up 15 points. So it was pretty spectacular. Absolutely love that, he at least has the faith from the coach to let him play. Another player still played 30 minutes, and that was sitting, he almost sat like 15 minutes in the first half. He sat forever. So,
yeah, you got to
see it.
Those 2 quick fouls, right? And then I think he played the rest of the game after that.
Yeah. He came back in, played maybe like 2 or 3 minutes in the first half at the end, and he played every second in the second half.
Let's do it again. That 13.5 should not be difficult if he gets 35 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think so. Ole Miss is a pretty scrappy team, so I think they are going to continue to, try and lock him down as best that teams can. But if this dude doesn't stay out of foul trouble, he's just extremely crafty, a mixed bag shooter who it seems like early on in the game, he's a little bit more prone to shoot some threes and take the mid range, but down the stretch, he literally is just 3-point shooter or getting to the free throw line. Like there's no in between for him. He stopped with the mid range stuff. He dumps it off a little bit more than I would like to see, but when it's icing free throw time, he's the guy. They go to him every single time. Like 90% of the time, it's always him. So I think there was one time that they had a secondary shooter who ended up getting fouled, but pretty much during the crunch time, he always has the ball in his hand. So whether that's setting the offense, making the actual shot for that current play, or whatever the case is, he's still the guy. So I like it. I think another player should be easily 14.5 points every single slate, but probably closer to 15.5 points with the way he's been playing over the last month.
Yeah, it's 15.5 on Underdog right now. So get them 13.5s in if you can.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, we got our second play out of the way, so let's get through some questions. What do we got?
CBG Damob says, Reed Bailey PRA. We know about Reed Bailey. His high-ass lines. But what do you think about him today?
Yeah, he's not bad. Just in general, phenomenal player. Very comparable. I prefer to play him typically at home, but the matchup isn't the best. I mean, he barely got over there in the first game against them, and that was with playing 39 minutes, which I don't think he's only done that once this season. So, I mean, he has been playing 38, 37 minutes, so I think that's pretty fair to say he's still going to play a pretty high amount. It's just a matchup, man. He's going to have to really wreck it on the glass like he did the first game. I think he had 14 rebounds. So 14 rebounds of the 38. So gonna have to be very productive there again, which I mean I think he can totally do it. I mean, he's a very high rebounder. It's kind of crazy that his line is set at 5.5 though. His point line is just maybe a touch in the okay here. 18.5 is pretty favorable. I would say 19.5. I'm usually gonna pass on that, but 18.5 is right there. Yeah, if I'm gonna play him, I think the PRA or the fantasy not even that bad, man. They're not giving him any real tax on that. I mean, only 3 points difference from the PRA to the fantasy. He's good for a steal or a block every now and again, but I mean, we know he's a playmaker. As long as he's not turning the ball over a bunch, that's actually not that bad. One of those two. I would say probably the fantasy.
All right. Q Donkey says Hepburn assists.
Oh, Big Chucky.
Chuck. Chucky Chuck.
Chucky's an interesting kind of player who's been developing a bit different than I was expecting, because he went through a really big stretch of the season where, I mean, all he was doing was passing the ball a lot. And I would say if you asked me around this time, I would have snapped this 5.5 up like no problem. But the thing is, he's just been scoring a lot more lately. So, I mean, that obviously is going to come with a little bit less playmaking if he's taking more field goal attempts. He's playing a lot better defense. So I will say shout out also the 32.5 fantasy on Prizepicks was a touch low. But, man, it's hard for me to settle for straight up assists with him. I think with what we've seen lately, maybe the PA that's right there on the line, man. If it was 21.5, I'd be like, yep. But I don't mind it. He's just been kind of taking a little bit more of a backseat on the playmaking and the shooting more so lately. So it's kind of hard to have a lot of faith in that. It makes sense though, man. It makes sense.
Shootball says Great Osabor, 22.5 PRA. This one's interesting. Great is interesting. He's up and down, but sometimes he just blows this number out of the water.
Was it PR?
PRA.
Oh, PRA, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's, just one of the typical bigs who they run the offense through basically every other play. He comes with a bit of, playmaking, obviously a very capable rebounder. I think honestly that's probably his strongest suit is the rebounding, but the scoring has looked pretty solid over the last about month and a half now, going back to January 12th. So, but man, these last couple games have been a bit disappointing. I would have expected more out of at least his Penn State game, but this last game against Indiana too, man, he should have had a little bit better than that. I don't mind great though. I will say pretty solid on the season. He does take a bit of a down hit on the road though, so that's the only concern about that. I would say it's a good matchup though. I mean, it's a really good matchup. These guys are not playing any defense. I mean, honestly, on either side, they're not playing any defense. Washington just plays a little bit slower, and USC, a little bit slower or a little bit faster, but still kind of, mid-pace team. So, what's the total in this game? I'm just curious.
I think it's like 140.
Yeah, 149.
Oh, it's up there. Okay, it's not bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, the pace would definitely lead me into, I think, having a little bit more curiosity and getting some exposure out of this game. We know they run the offense through him, so it's just really whether is he going to take the shots or is he going to be a little bit more passive. So that's kind of big. I would say the biggest thing about him on the road that's been the most sketchy is the actual shot attempts. Because there's been games, I mean, dead ass, man. I played him in this Ohio State game where this is a primo du jour inside the paint matchup. And this guy would not shoot the ball at all to save his life. And they ended up getting their ass beat down the stretch. So he just has games like that that's honestly just very frustrating where he just will not shoot the ball. And that's, just kind of what he does down the stretch sometimes. But if he's cooking early, he's very aggressive, and he's one of those players that really kind of feels himself when he gets in that moment of scoring and when he's in rhythm. So I would say I don't mind it, but keep an eye out for his second half props. Like I said, if he's playing pretty active, then he's usually pretty active in the second half, though.
All right. Got a couple unders here. Chachi likes to go with these mid player unders. I don't blame him either. Phylon, 17.5 PRA under. Good old Phylon.
Yeah, Phylon, man. I mean, he's coming off of some reasonably good games, for his standards. So, like this last game, for example, he did play 32 minutes, which is kind of surprising. He's only come close to playing 30 plus. That game, 3 games back against Mizzou, and then way earlier in the season. So, I mean, I would say Coach more than likely plays him somewhere between this 25 or 24 to 26 range on a normal day. It's not a good matchup. I mean, it's definitely going to be a bit more of a difficult matchup. Let's see. Home road splits. Yeah, home definitely plays a lot worse. He's been playing really bad at home over the last month and a half now. I mean, shit, going on 2 months now. So, yeah, I don't mind that, man. The only thing with him is really just, his scoring kind of being all over the place again. The playmaking has been there a little bit more recently. I will have to shout that out. They did adjust his line finally from 2.5 to 3.5, but he has been playmaking a little bit more. The rebounding also all over the place. So, yeah, man, I think that's pretty solid. As long as he doesn't go out and play 30-plus minutes again, that would be my only concern.
Nice. Then he says Stephen Mitchell PRA under also 16.5.
Ooh, big Stevie. So Stevie's coming off of a really, really good RA game. Like, really good. I think he had 8 RA last game. Okay, 7 RA. So one of his more peak performance in that regard. He has been doing that a lot more consistently. The scoring very all over the place. He's kind of just, your typical 3-and-D player. He did let us down, unfortunately, this last game when we took his steals, which I wouldn't be surprised, if he gets that again here. But really a downturn as far as defensive performance. Coach did give him 30 minutes, so I mean, if he is playing well, it's just another player who coach is going to leave him out there. But very subjective 2 minutes. If he's not playing well, especially in the second half, they dwarf his minutes down real bad. He could see a 20 to 23 minute game. But if he is playing well, unfortunately, coach will leave him out there. So just keep that in mind. Elevated minutes going to come with performance. But another person who I don't think they typically give us second half props for, but if they do, another player I would definitely look at.
Jalen Moore under 15.5 points. Jalen Moore, man, he can go off sometimes. That's a little scary, just first glance.
Who is it?
Jalen Moore, 15.5 under points.
Oh, I'm not seeing him.
Jalon.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not on there? The heck? That's weird. That is very, very, very weird. Sometimes you don't get them certain players, and I do. It's weird, huh? Let's see if I got it.
Which from Oklahoma or
yeah, Oklahoma.
Oakland?
Oklahoma.
Oh, because yeah, he doesn't have anything on Outlier yet because I guess he had a Q tag, but he was probable for today's game, so he should play.
He popped up on mine. So weird, man.
Yeah, I might have a filter set, something different. What's
It's 15.5 plus 100. But yeah, he's all over the place.
Yeah, they're Oklahoma's at home today, right?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty dangerous at home, man. I will say he, even though yes, coming back from slight little injury, dude averages 18.6 points at the house. That's pretty high, and they are kind of giving him a slight discount. I mean, he still averages 16.6 on the season too, so maybe they ticked it down just because he came back from this last game, but that the game total was pretty high too. I mean, it's 160.5. Kind of feels a little bit more mid there. I mean, this would be one you could totally hedge with. I know for sure, unless the game's just a complete bloodbath, they will give us second half props for that. So you could, in theory, I mean, just take the second half or take the full game under and then hedge it with, second half over. And just hope he paces.
Your favorite solo ball points, Q Donkey says.
Oh, solo
ball with all these other UConn guys
Well,
getting involved now.
Let's pause on that real fast, and we'll talk about our next play here because it has something to do with UConn, anyways. And we can take a look at solo ball because I mean he's a player that I like, but they have so many weapons on this team, and especially this guy, Terrace Reed, we're about to talk about. Very, very big thorn in the side, and could potentially, dare I say, may move into the starting lineup today. We'll see, but he's playing minutes of a starter. He's their backup center. I mean, air quotes on the backup here, but he doesn't start the game, but he still plays an obscene amount of minutes, and he is essentially their center. So let's take a look at him in the last couple games here. I mean, coach is really pushing him to the limit. He does not like the other guy and the other bench players that they've tried out so far this season. But if you take a look at him so far in the season, he was a player who was playing really, really well at the start of the season, and then coach, kind of dialed back his minutes, and then I believe he picked up an injury somewhere around here, and they really dialed his minutes back. I mean, he almost was playing single digit, but back into the full swing of things, and you can see the minutes taking a dramatic increase here, going from 10 minutes up to 27 minutes. Still played 20 minutes here in a pretty well, blowout game. But the last two games, I mean, 31 and 28 minutes is pretty crazy. And you can see clearly the lines are not nearly adjusted for him and the kind of production that he's been bringing for the team. So we talk about the minutes, production, usage, all that stuff. I mean, we look at his usage here. In the first game that he came in, 20%, and then 27, 24, and then 31% usage this last game. So they are definitely trying to get him involved more and more into the offense just in general. We've seen that before with these guys. They like to pass it around a lot and get a lot of different looks as far as like who's going to be shooting the ball. So field goal, coming up to double digit here the last 2 games. It's going to affect somebody. So somebody's obviously going to take a hit. So let's take a look at the last 2 games, see who maybe's taking the hit, maybe's taking a step forward. Now, I know this last game we did get unfortunately disappointed by Liam McNeely. We played him on the road, and he ended up coming up just a little bit short there. But that was pretty by and large to Terrace. I mean, just the shot volume, the usage, the rebound rating. Not really a playmaker, but definitely a defender and definitely a rebounder. So he's soaking up a ton of rebounds for the team as a whole, and the shot volume is really bringing it down for the starters. So solo ball, I will say probably a bit more of the consistent from the starter shooters. Him and Caravan both very consistent. McNeely is just going to be the wild card for this team, honestly. So it's going to be hard to predict what his shot volume is going to look like. He stayed in the double digits for several games coming back now. So this could be probably a pretty clear picture of what we're going to get from the team. And if we take a look at the game before that, basically the same thing here. It was solo ball took a slight hit. Caravan took a slight step forward. And Terrace Reed was just doing his own thing. So you could take a shot at solo ball. I think I would probably be a little bit more inclined to lean towards McNeely or Caravan. McNeely's kind of their home guy. Caravan a little bit more on the road. Solo ball might be the other wild card. So I don't know, man. Hard to predict that. Terrace Reed, though, like what I'm seeing. Like the shot production, volume. As long as he stays out of foul trouble. Guy's been playing the minutes. And, St. John's, that's why he didn't play. He had 5 fouls that game. So another game, easily was going to play 27-plus minutes and just didn't. So got to expect this next game. Looking at hopefully another 30-plus minutes here. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, man. Just give him the minutes. All we need is 12 points. 12 points. 12 points. That's nothing. So
Totally doable, man. I think this should be a smash spot for him too. The pace and all that, could be a little bit better, but Ben Gold on the other side, not a great defender, very slow in transition. Not the biggest foul guy, but he could definitely get into a little bit of early foul trouble. And if they go to the backup, man, that their backup is just, a walking traffic cone. He's a traffic cone that gets walked on.
Nice. I like it. Definitely locking that in. Did you talk about solo ball now or no?
Yeah, so we'll take a look at him real fast, a little bit more in depth. I don't mind him. Like I said, just he is unfortunately, I think, another player who his production could be eaten into from some of these other guys, and he's been consistent. I'll give him his flowers. He's been very consistent over the last 20 games, but it's just the last 4 with the new personnel change, we gotta throw a little bit of pause up for that, because he did miss 2 of these games here. They were competitive games, and he did get a lot of looks, but I don't know, man. That's a little scary there, because we could just see things flatten out just a little bit. He only averages 15.5 on the season, so it is a point discount. But again, with this, some red flags, a couple of just unknowns there.
All right. You want to get into another question, or you want to get to your rest of the plays?
Yeah, we'll get up to the next play. And the last thing about Solo, I'm sure this first game meeting looks really, really appealing. I want to say he just cooked them from 3. Yeah, he dropped tied for a season high 7 threes. So, hey, if he does that, totally, I could see it. You might be a little bit better off, honestly, just taking the straight up threes than his points in that case. Yeah, threes look a little bit better than that. All right, so next play, moving on from Terrace, we got big Wesley Yates right back at 17.5 points. Another pretty stout matchup, can't be mad at. Going up against Washington with a healthy 150.5 total. I like it. This guy is doing everything, and St. Thomas, that guy is shooting the ball about 4 times a game. So between him and their center, man, it's basically they're out there playing, 3-on-3, and Claude obviously is going to be a bit more of the wild card here for this team. Coming off of a pathetic, I mean, just downright pathetic. That was pretty sad. Hold on. They did have some personnel change to this team from last game, so we need to actually talk about that real fast. I forgot about that because they hit us with the late news that remember that Obaji guy ended up starting, and that dude went the fuck off. Yeah, Agbo. Yeah, this guy. So he slotted in the starting 5 this last game, which I think a little bit of a concern. Maybe that's more of a flash in the pan, but yeah, Yates, man, he's just been doing his thing. Claude, a little bit more unreliable. Yates, I mean, the field goal volume's just been insane over the last month now.
Yeah, just don't go 5 for 19, right?
Yeah, just don't go 5 for 19, and we'll be okay there. But even if he just has another 15 to 16 field goal attempt game, I think that's totally fine. He's obviously a player who's a little bit more comfortable playing at the house than on the road. And I mean, it was Oregon too, man. It's not like that was an easy game by any stretch. And the team just kind of fell flat on its face. They got really carried by the other 2 guys, and it is what it is. So, bounce back game, back at the house. Let's see. I'm just curious what games he's missed since being at the house. Oh, and the minutes too. Just another, marquee part of something we're looking for. I mean, 40, 37, 40, 39, and 36. He still played 36 in a game that they lost by 20. So, I mean, if that doesn't tell you anything, this guy's going to go out and play the entire game if possible.
Give me that. Bingo. Yeah, I'm taking that.
I like it. And first time they played as well, which was back in December. So mind you, this is well before they had the whole, revamping and players getting injured. He still put up 19 points against them, and that was on the road. So now we got new look, new do, back at home. If this dude doesn't go out and drop 20 points on them tonight, man, I'm just really going to be sad. Like, honestly, I might cry a little bit, but that's what we're looking for here. 17.5 points for Wesley Yates.
Bingo. I like it. 19 likes, guys. We need 6 more for good luck. 6 more. 6 more, guys.
Let's go.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys who hit all the way up to 19. We just need 6. Good luck for your bets. Good luck for our bets. Good luck for everyone's bets. If we can get to 25. Alrighty.
Yeah. Oh, it was Rashawn Aggie. That was the player who ended up slotting in the starting 5. So
that's right.
Let's keep an eye out for that. I'm just curious if he's going to start. Because he was a player that I wanted to look at. Okay, yeah. So that could be a total just flash in the pan. I mean, he was just doing a lot. He had 6 offensive rebounds too. So obviously a ton of production and scoring came off of that from putbacks. 10 free throw attempts as well. You can see all that correlates together. I think. Could he play another 38 minutes? Totally. Wouldn't be surprised there. Is he going to shoot the ball 14 times again? Probably not. So maybe looking at a little bit closer to, and that's 14 field goal attempts, not even counting the 10 free throw attempts. So, I mean, we're talking damn near 20 field goal attempts for somebody who just got a spot start, like out of nowhere. That is not going to happen again. Love little homie to death, but that's not going to happen again. We're going to see more of the vets, more of the leaders on the team take somewhat of a step forward here, and probably closer to, I would say 10 to 12 field goal attempts would be probably a likely outcome, but not 19 and 20 again. That's not going to happen.
Christian Santiago, what's going on, bro? He says, does E equal exotic for your E just cash?
Sure. Hey, it's 2025. Why not?
There we go. E does.
We'll get the exotic bangs going.
There you go. E just cash. Exotic just cash is what you are now.
I gotta go get a haircut either tomorrow or might do it on this weekend. We'll see.
Maybe you shouldn't get a haircut unless we have a losing day.
I mean, that's possible.
Watch that shit just grow all the way down past your nose. We'll just keep winning. E2 says, what's your favorite 2-picker?
Ooh, that's tough, man.
But I will say, I want to throw this out there. The 2-picker is definitely on Prizepicks. if you want to play on Prizepicks, there's 2 plays in particular that are better value, which is Ziegler already up there, and what was the fantasy? Walter? You didn't talk about Big Walter yet, but it bumped, right?
Yeah, he moved up a half a point, but it's still wildly different than Underdog because I believe they still have him at 33. So he's 29 on Prizepicks. Let's see what they moved him to.
He's about to bust a freestyle. He's just getting ready.
Bro, we went under tornado watch for like the last 48 hours.
Oh, wow. How's that feel?
Pretty terrifying when you hear all that wind whipping down.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so they moved him down a point at least. He was at 33.5 or 33.05. He's still at 32. So, I mean, that's a pretty dramatic discount still, even though it's, adjusted on both ends. But yeah, the 29 fantasy here, and then Ziegler only available at 14 on Prizepicks.
Okay, looks good. There's a few more that I skipped here, unless you want to get to the rest of the plays first.
Yeah, here let's just speed through these next 3 plays, and then we already talked kind of about Walter here, so let's just close out on that real fast.
Okay.
We'll wrap on the other 2 plays, get caught up on all the questions, and then get outie.
Alrighty.
All right. So we did, as I mentioned, get Walter at 28.5. That's what we posted earlier. But going up against Bama, guy loves to play against the Bama squad. And we know that Bama is a track meet. So we have a nice, healthy 178 total, which is pretty insane for college level. But Walter historically plays really well against Bama, coming off of, unfortunately, a pretty rough game, albeit was still against Texas A&M. But traveling out to Bama, obviously short distance trip, but this guy loves to play against Bama. Puts up 20 plus real points every time they play. Again, coming off of, honestly kind of a bad stretch of games. He did have an injury in here, but coming back from that, he did, honestly, he kind of looked like shit this last game. Turned it over a bunch early. Coach ended up benching him early in the first half. But he did come out and played a pretty solid second half. So the couple key factors I think is very interesting. One, his 3-point shooting has been back on the upswing lately. So that does give me a lot of hope as far as, production, scoring, still being able to be there. But the RA has been very consistent for him, especially in the last half of the season here. He was at 6.5 for a large majority of this, but very consistent over the 6 marker. So the Bama matchup, we know they give up a ton of rebounds. They give up a ton of scoring in general. We just need for him, I think, to just settle down a little bit more here. He was rushing a lot of shots this last game. He had a lot of forced turnovers too, which is kind of uncharacteristic for him. He had 3 turnovers against Texas A&M. Bama does cause a little bit of turnovers, but historically something that really hasn't been that much of a problem. I think it's just a couple factors of one, this giant line discrepancy that we had between the 2 different sites. And then it is a Bama matchup. So if there is a get right game for anybody in this league, it's always against Bama. Hopefully they can keep it close. No blowouts. Let me knock on wood there. But if they keep it close, guy's going to go out. He's another player who plays 36 to 38 minutes in competitive games, and hopefully this is going to be one of them. So 28.5 fantasy was our play for Walter Clayton Jr.
Big Walter, let's go.
Big Walter. All right, so let's talk about Jeremy Fears real fast. And this guy is the swiper of swipers. Kind of surprised they opened him at, he was way more favorable than this last night. I think it was a 0.84 or 0.85 or something like that. He is down to a 0.8 on Underdog, but still, this dude gets stock every single game, at least a steal almost every single game. 83% on the season in general, 88% at the house, only missed it twice so far. First game, he did walk away with just 1 steal, but yeah, man, low-hanging fruit here. I love it. He's a high minutes player. Another person who's just playing an ungodly amount of minutes, and his defensive assignment's going to be a pretty reasonable one. Opponent is a pretty high usage player, so we just need him to do his usual thing and pick up 1 for us.
Big Jeremiah, let's go. 1 steal, buddy. That's all we need from you. 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then the last play we got, and kind of also a question I wanted to ask you, because, man, Underdog, they took forever to drop the fantasy lines today, but he was another player who had a bit of a discrepancy in his. Wasn't quite a higher one, but one that we'll get to in a second. But the 19.5 points you felt pretty solid about, and I like the matchup, man. I think that Notre Dame, they have not been able to contain bigs very well at all this season. And Hansberry, albeit has developed a lot better down the stretch in the season, still struggles to keep the hands to himself from game to game. And their backup center is pretty terrible. So if that ends up being their plan, things are going to go pretty poorly for him defensively. I like Max on the road, man. He's been pretty solid this year. Got just another player who's locked in for minutes. Granted, he doesn't play in the high 30s. He always plays at least, 30. Basically, in any of the games that he hasn't been in these foul trouble, because these were all foul trouble, he's played 30 minutes every single game. So Stanford, pretty solid team defensively. I don't think this game had anything of a crazy spread, right? Yeah, 1.5 point spread, 140 total. Looks good. Should be a competitive game down the stretch. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, this guy's shooting the ball, almost 20 times a game. So I like it, man. I like what he brings to the table. And I will say, small shout out also to the fantasy. Prizepicks had him at 36.5, and Underdog has him at 37.4. So not as, obviously much of a discount there, but you can see very consistent this so far this season. Almost 70% by and large, and really for him, it's just the turnovers. He has just so much of a higher usage than everybody on his team. The ball's in the hands at all times, so he does come with a little bit of turnover downside, but he comes also with a lot of block and steal upside too sometimes. Very capable rebounder, very consistent. Almost double-double every single game. So just a couple looks, I think, for him to consider, but the points also very low, 19.5.
I hate him, but it's time for us to bet on him, I think, as a community, as a group. I like to cheer against him usually, but, man, they're going to hand him the ball every play again, and he's going to get that 20. I already know.
Yeah, they've gone back to business as usual because he definitely had an embarrassing game against Georgia Tech. I remember this one, very, very bad game for him, and he ended up getting in a little bit of foul trouble too, but he still played 34 minutes, so this was just a terrible shooting game. In a unlikely bounce back scenario, had a really solid outing against Duke the following game after that. He put up 19 points and I believe 29 PRA or 30 PRA. And then after that, just back to business as usual. So we've seen this guy been, a walking 20 burger all season. And for here, it's crunch time. So looking for about 22 to 24 points here, 38 minutes, 36 minutes, somewhere in that range.
Let's go.
All right, so that's all the plays that we got. Let's get through some questions here, and then we are going to skedoot and get out of here.
Big Chachi says, Tamar Bates, 16.5 PR.
Yeah, sorry. Tamar Bates.
Yeah.
Leon's freaking out over there. I'm like, chill, buddy, chill. Bates over? Sorry.
I think so.
Over, under?
I think over 16.5 PR is the question. Or the look.
Yeah, so Bates and Caleb Grill have been kind of going back and forth between who's the star and who's taking the back seat. Now, Grill, last couple games, very, very productive. He's been kind of cutting into some of his usage rating. I don't mind Bates, but the minutes, this was a little bit concerning for me. Kind of a wild card in that aspect. He did play 37 minutes this last game, so I do like to see that. Obviously, that was a blowout game, but like the Arkansas game was very close. Alabama game was still pretty close down the stretch. And the Georgia game was very close. So I'm not sure what's up 100% with his minutes. I was trying to actually do some deep diving on this team earlier. I did see that Caleb Grill, though, was kind of a player who was really cutting into his production, at least as of recent, especially these last like 6 games here. So hard to really feel confident about which one of these is going to be the guy. Caleb had a really terrible game against him the first time. So I don't know, man. I probably would pass on that one, to be honest. He could do it, but some of these red flags here, plus the previous game, would throw me off of it just a little bit. Maybe Caleb Grill, but even this is still kind of a high line for him.
Okay. Aunt the Kid's here. What's up, though? What's up?
Yo.
He said you guys were right. He said you guys are right about Ace. 10 points first half. I saw that. And then couldn't get 5 more in the second half. Got 2 points in the second half, and that was a cherry pick. Wow.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, that dude does not care. Like,
Ace,
and I was,
what is up?
I'm glad you actually brought that up, because I was laughing about that too. I was like, oh man, and he only even got 10 points because Harper had 2 early fouls. Had Harper stayed out there, I don't even think he would have gotten the 10 points. But yeah, dude, you talk about a player who just is completely mentally checked out. I knew he was not going to do anything the rest of the game, bro. I took his under second half. I had his under live. Like, that dude didn't do shit the rest of the game. He does not care.
That's so weird. He got to be 3rd or 4th pick now. He can't. I don't know, man. Anyways, Ant also says Jacoby Gillespie over 4.5 assists. 4.5's not that high for him, but assists, been happy staying away from assist plays, to be honest. But what do you think about that one?
Here, did you ask me about the Bizjack play or no?
No, I didn't get to that one yet. But if you want to, I was saying Gillespie 4.5 assists. But if you want to do old Bizjack first.
No, I was just curious because I don't know if it's the comments might be popping up a different order than mine than it is for you.
No. I'm just jumping all over the place.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bizjack is definitely a little low key gem. What was it? 11.5 points. Where's he? 11.5. Yeah, if you can get 11.5, that's definitely a pretty solid line. He was a player who I believe more recently moved into the starting lineup.
Oh, nice. It's one of those ones, huh? He said 2 units on it, too.
Yeah.
2 units.
Yeah, so he started at the beginning of the season, then got benched, then came back, and he's played really, really well. I will definitely give him his flowers for that. I actually played him somewhere in this little stretch when I saw he was actually playing meaningful minutes and kind of a, I would say a pretty live role for the team. The 11.5 points, 11.5 in particular, 12.5 line, I'll probably pass on that. But the 11.5 points is, I think it's just still a very, very fair call for him. Don't sleep on his RA upside too. I know the assist a little bit more all over the place, but the rebounding pretty consistent. 2.5 rebounds, I would say he's probably good for nightly. The scoring though, if we're talking real deal here, it's coming off of the threes. Like a lot of that's coming off of the threes. So the 2 games that he missed were 0 threes made. He had 8 points, and then this 8-point game, he only hit 2 threes and then 1 from the field. What is his? I'm just out of curiosity. Does he have a 3-point line? No, of course not. Let's do some price shopping real fast. 12.5. Yeah, so if you get the threes, he's probably gonna be at 2.5 threes, but 11.5 points is very, very favorable. Looks like he's pretty well 12.5 everywhere else.
Okay.
All right.
C-Dot says I hit
the
like button twice already. Let me go hit that twice again. C-Dot, that's going to give us no likes, but I like it. It's kind of cool, I guess, if you like hitting the button. We're at 20, guys. Yes. We're at 20. We need 5 more. 5 more. 5 more.
5 more for another lucky day. Come on, fam. Y'all know you want to be that one.
If you haven't hit the like yet, please do so. It'll help us out a lot. We have a few more here. Cam Jones, 8.5 RA. Oh, you're
Yeah,
already
Cam,
looking
I
at
think.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, Cam we'll just briefly touch on because we actually talked about him the last slate that he was on. The RA, I think it's still in play. Honestly, I know he got over this last game. He was at 7.5 the slate before that, so he's kind of on that fringe line of being playable, not playable. I don't mind the matchup. The pace and total and everything was pretty solid for them, so I can see it. Now Gillespie though, 4.5. This guy has been quite frustrating. I mean,
He's
really
been
just
shooting.
all over the place. Yeah,
been
he's shooting the ball a lot more lately, and rebounding too. He's been pretty solid about that. But straight up assists, man, I don't know if I could bring myself to play that, honestly. If anything, the PRA still pretty live, but the fantasy was, I think, very interesting because we know these Michigan guys can definitely have the butterfingers. He is going to see some steal potential on the other side. I mean, another player who just kind of averages almost 1.5 steals a game, as you can see. The straight up assist, though, I don't know if I could do that.
Okay. Claude, RA, 6.5.
Man. Claude.
Same idea, same feel.
Pass.
I mean, Claude's all right, man. I just don't know what's up with him lately. Like, he was so good for us during this stretch here in the season, and it's just like the last, 2 going on almost 3 weeks now. He just hasn't been the same player, and I mean, it's been for a lot of different things too. I mean, the playmaking's been down, scoring's been down, turnovers have been insanely high. The minutes also not secure. I mean, we're talking 25, 24 minutes. Coach outright benched him this game. He was not happy with him at all.
Pass.
I would play it for my love of Claude and how good he's been to us this season, but I don't know if I can do it right now. I need a game under the belt for him to play well.
All right, 2 more. Javon Hadley, 21.5 PR under. Oh, and Christian says Sleeper has BizJack at 11.5. Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And also, someone brought up earlier, I forget who it was now. I think it was somebody said great 22.5, and that was on Sleeper. That's the discount at 22.5. Shootball said that. That's right. So yeah, you can play the Bismack with the great discount on Sleeper. That'd be a nice little tour. I know they only let you do $10 though, so which is ridiculous. So yeah, play BizJack with something else too if you want to get some money in on it. That's dope. Thanks for that.
What was the Hadley PR under?
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so this guy did me absolutely dirty this game here, or it was one of these 2 games here.
You try to go under on him too?
Yes. So I will say yes. Right out of the gate, yes, I like the under call. I was in the same spot with you. I think I actually took the PRA under, which, I mean, it's tomato. I want to go under him or his player props, but he did me so dirty that last game. He dropped like 26 or the 29. I forget which one it was, but I like it, man. I'll say yes. I mean, I'm totally for that. He just kind of smacked the hand this last game, so I'm a little hesitant to go right back to it.
Okay. And the last question we have is Tay Davis PR. And we still need 4 likes, guys, for good luck on our bets. If you haven't hit the like yet, please, I'm begging you. We need 25 for good luck, guys. I swear if you get 25, we're going to go 6-1 today. Something like that.
That's the plan. Okay, Tay Davis. Is it PR?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's Big Notre Dame. It's the team with Burton on it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Marcus Burton. Oh, my Lord, his props are high.
He's been balling. Like, super balling. Ooh, we got another like, guys. Three more.
Yeah, he balled every game after the game we took
Of
his
course.
ass.
Ooh, we got another like. Two more, guys. Two more to the good luck. Two more.
All right. Yeah, Tay's an interesting look. So definitely the kind of, the 1A, 1B between him and Burton. I think Burton obviously has a bit higher ceiling, but Tay's been pretty consistent. I got to give him credit for that. Very consistent so far this season. I mean, even in the last 2 months, the only miss was these 2 games here. And tough opponents. I mean, Louisville and SMU, not easy opponents at all. So, not surprised there. I mean, he did end with 18. So
We got
shy
it.
of the marker.
We got it. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just so excited.
Hell yeah. Appreciate
right.
y'all, fam. Y'all are the real ones.
Hell yeah. Okay, here we go. Last one. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Was the line 18.5 or is it the 19.5?
He didn't say. He just said Tay Davis points, I believe. Oh, PR, sorry.
Yeah. Points. Or PR, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it. The rebounding aspect of it might be a little bit more difficult. Maxim is going to hold it down inside the paint. Stanford's pretty good as far as like defending the rebound, so that might be a bit more of a tough ask, but he scoring upside for him I think is totally warranted.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Well, we ended at a perfect time, right around the top of the hour and 25 likes. So I think that is a sign we should get out of here, go find some more plays, and have another great day.
Yes, sir. Let me refresh the injury news here real fast. Make sure we ain't got nothing. Okay. So Max Klisman is out again. Cochran sideline still. Okay, so mostly just Max Klisman out again. Cool. All right. That'll probably help out Steven Crowell again, even though I don't want to play him today. He did play 30 minutes this last game, which is kind of crazy. He has not played that in a couple minutes now. Yeah, it just helps their rebounding out a little bit here. I think Nolan Winter, look for his prop. Do we have any fantasy lines for him? Probably not. No, we do not. 6.5 rebounds, though. No Klisman again. That could be interesting. All right. Well, with that, we are going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys, as always, hanging out with us during the afternoon, getting ready for the slate. Underrated. I appreciate you, big dog. You got anything else for us?
Nope, not really. I don't have shit for you. I just have the same old shit we're doing. Continue to pile up the wins here. Stack the profit. Don't bet just because you feel like betting. Bet when you got value. Bet when you know the plays are good. Don't give these shitty fuckface bookies money back. Let's just keep winning, stacking. And WNBA is soon.
Yes, sir. Just 2 months shy of that starting up. I don't remember. Did we get a discount or a boost or anything like that today?
I think there's a 30 for college, I believe. I thought I saw it earlier on Underdog.
Boo.
You didn't get nothing, huh? You're winning too much, man. They're like, nah. Oh, gimme pick.
Ooh,
Nice.
Look, that fresh gimme pick just appeared out of nowhere.
There you go.
All
I
right,
love those. Free money.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. First game starts in just over 22 minutes, so we're going to skadoot. We appreciate y'all, as always. We'll catch y'all back here tomorrow. Good luck tonight. Let's see some green, and good luck. Peace out, y'all.